Okay, so that live had to end. I said I only had a couple seconds left. Anyways, if I was saying that, if I was a father, that, I would be raising my son to be a leader. I do that anyway. But what I was saying was that if I was to holler right now and act like I just got hurt or anything, if I had like there's a spider in here, my son, who I call Hero, will run in here so fast, like run in here and was like, what happened? That's the type of like leader I'm raising. Yesterday I went to Target with him. Where else did I go? Target and Publix. And I sat in the car and he got out, came around, opened my door for me. He opened my door. My son opened my door for me. And then I gave him the keys. And this is just me teaching him how to be in his masculine energy, but chill. Because if I was to walk out the house in some gym shorts, he'd be like, Mom, you're gonna you're gonna leave in that? And I'd be like, yes. Why are you asking me that? Because your shape. Son, I can't help that. I cannot help that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But yes, I am. So I'm like teaching him the balance in that, to balance that energy in healthy ways. So we get to the store and I allow him, I sit in the car, he comes and opens my door, and my dad is like that. Like if I was to touch a door around my dad, he would have the biggest attitude. He'll be like, oh, I guess you don't need me no more. Now mind you, both of these are Leos. And so are my dad's brothers, all but one. I have an uncle that's a Cancer that is super, super sweet. And then the rest, I think the rest are Leos. I don't think about my Uncle Keith. But yeah, my Uncle Zeke is the 14th of August. My dad's the 15th of August. My Uncle Lamar is the 10th of August. Which, speaking of, I gotta call him. It's his birthday. And then my son is the 6th of August, just like my great grandmother. Imagine that. My great grandmother's birthday is the 6th of August, and my son's birthday is the 6th of August. But yeah, like he came and opened my door the way my father would open my door, and then he took care of everything. I brought a whole bunch of water, that crystal geyser. He put them all in the trunk of the car. Mind you, he just turned 10. He put everything in the car. He took care of everything, and I was just sitting there waiting politely. He opened my door. I reached over and opened the door, and I said, now look, listen, son, when you become an adult and you begin to court women, when you open her door, if she don't reach over and open yours, that's not reciprocity. Get on up out of that. And he started laughing, and I was laughing too, but I'm like, come on, that's trash. I said, you are a giver. I am a giver. My other babies are givers. They're literally the epitome of me. So they're givers. They help my son growing tomatoes in the backyard. What's his name? There's this African man. I think his name is Joshua Mpongo. I'm probably butchering it, but I think it's Joshua Mpongo. I listen to a lot of his lectures, and he says that every man should have 2 wives. And the first wife should be the land. The land. He said, if you cannot impregnate the land, you should not be impregnating a woman. So, mind you, I love lectures where I'm learning and hearing other people's perspective. And my son overhears, and then he just starts planting tomatoes, not from some store-bought seeds. Like, we're eating tomatoes and cucumber salads in the house. He goes outside and he grows. He has 4 tomato plants. And every day he goes and Mom, come look at this. And he's showing me the land that he's planting these seeds. And I'm saying, as a mother, I'm creating leaders, teachers who are also students. So every time I'm learning something, they're right there trying to learn whatever it is I'm learning. If I change something in my diet, I don't even engage in the conversation with them. They will ask me, why are you doing that? Or are there any health benefits? And people in my family do that. On my mom's side of the family, my aunts and cousins, I'm the medicine woman. And this is what I shared in the last video with the lady, Miss Phyllis. And she was like, I can see that. And like I said, that's how we got into conversation before she started trying to sell me to her son. Pair me with her son. I don't know why I said it like that. But I told her, I said, in my family, I'm the medicine woman. And she was like, I can see that. And I'm like, and I expressed to her, like, my offspring, they all have their own spiritual gifts. And I love that. And had I raised them the traditional American way, I probably would not have known that. I grew up with parents that legitimately did not know and still don't know who I am as a person. Why? Because they were always, well, my dad, one of the greatest teachers. Even though he got his ways, one of the greatest teachers I've ever had. This man had me studying everything in middle school. When I say studying, I mean studying. We're not talking about middle school stuff. I'm talking about, I used to tell him that I wanted to be a psychiatrist. This man gave me college material. I was in college in middle school by way of my dad and everything. And I had to do book reports and deadlines for, like, this was me. So the man has, if my brain was the computer, he's given me so much at such a young age. But in all of that, he never stopped to figure out who I actually am as a person. Never. He gave me so much, but he never learned from me. And then my mother, on the other hand, was putting all of that stuff that I had to study to use, because she was coming to me with things that she was dealing with, things that she, needed help through. And in the midst of all of that, she never stopped to ask me who I was. They don't know my favorite color. They don't know my favorite food. Actually, at one point, I take that back. So I had this obsession with Reese cups as a kid. Like, that was my favorite candy for so long. Okay, so my dad did know, like, certain things, but as a whole, with who I am as a person, it was just like, nah. But he knew, like, my favorite little treats because we share them. So I had for years this obsession with Reese cups, and that he would surprise me with. He'll come home with it. That and the wild berry flavor Lifesavers gummies. He'd come home with those, and we'd split a bag. He liked certain flavors and colors, and the ones he didn't like, I liked, and the ones I didn't care for, he liked. So that was our thing. And then with the Reese cups, he bought me this huge, like, box, like, with 100, not 100, but it had a lot of packs of the 10 pack, because the little Reese's used to come in, like, the 10 packs. He had this huge box. He bought it for me for Christmas. And every year my family has this Christmas gathering, like, on my dad's side of the family at somebody's house. This year, it was at our house. Before everybody came over, we opened all our Christmas gifts. I don't even know that he has this. And then when the whole family gets there, this man brings his last gift out and goes, well, I want to open this because I know it's your favorite, in front of everybody else. I don't know what it is, because it's a huge box. And he's saying it's my favorite. And I'm like, I like a lot of things. I don't know what's in here. Tell me why this man had me open this box in front of everybody. And it was so many packs of Reese cups. I was so happy I cried. That's how deep, like, my obsession was. Like, I love Reese cups. Like, I had to have it. And he brought me this huge box, and then gonna have me open it in front of everybody. So everybody thought that it was like this little free for all. We're all finna, eat her. No, we're all not. I'll share like 5 packs because that's 50 Reese cups, but it goes no further than that because my dad brought this for me. So, like, he knew, like, little things, but spiritually, my spiritual gifts, I grew up in a Christian household, so they all got denounced. That's of the devil. That's of the devil. You can't do that. You can't, this ain't real. And so when it came to all of that, yeah, no. Neither of my parents knew who I was. They didn't know the things that really mattered. I'm smiling because the Reese cups mattered. I'm not gonna act like they didn't. They mattered. Now, I don't have that obsession now, because it actually has an effect on me now if I eat it. So I would have to learn how to make it myself. But, like, he knew, like, little things like that. Like, if he brought my mom some roses, he'd buy me, like, the actual rose plant and give it to me to take care of. So, like, and if I buy her the roses, the actual flowers already put together in the store, I'm gonna buy you the plant. So he fed that need to nurture, that need to feed life, to bring life. And he fed that. So he did good with that. He did great with that. He did good with everything that he taught me. But still, out on a person-to-person level, he didn't know who I am through each phase in life, because he was teaching, never listening, never hearing. And if he would catch anything, then it was no, you can't. That's not right, or no. And it's just like, are you going to allow me to tell you who I am? And it ended up being a gift in disguise. And the same thing with my mom. My mom tried to get me to watch stuff like, why are you even asking me to look at this? Sweetie, this is not me. What you doing? Like, and they were always trying to put in, but was never learning and allowing me to show them who I am. So this version of me, they're watching unfold like everybody else. My siblings don't know who the heck I am. All they know is what they felt when they was around me. That's it. And like I said, that was that one sibling that was with the condescending stuff. Or we can't always look like that. Or we can't always do that. Or we can't always. And then that was the other one that always had his hand out. Give me this. Give me that. Give me this. Give me that. Mind you, I'm the baby. And it's just like, nah, give me this. No. No one actually taking the time to learn who I am. It was just what I could do for them. What I could do for you. What I could do for you. How can I play small for you today? And so if I had to sit and wait for somebody's permission for me to be happy, it would have never happened. If I had to sit and, hey, sweetie, if I had to sit and wait for anybody's permission for me to do for myself, it would never happen. If I had to wait for if I would have asked my dad, should I begin acting? He would have told me no. He'd have told me no. He'd have told me all these reasons why I should not. If I had to wait for my mom's permission to become a poet, a spoken words artist, and if that's what you want to do, like, it was never, mind you, like, your girl got, like, I'm a writer. But if I had to wait for someone's permission for me to be that, to do that, to do what I'm supposed to be doing, to create Hill University in the world for real, if I had to wait for anybody's permission to do that, it would never happen. Because how dare you try to do anything that could make you a little bit bigger than the box that we put you in? How dare you try to outgrow the box that I put you in? How dare you try to outgrow the environment that I put you in? And it's like, baby, I can't stop from growing. I can't. I'm not supposed to. I'm in love with evolving. I'm in love with elevating. I'm in love with finding new ways to balance my life. Powerful words. I feel that in never encouragement. Unless it was something safe or easily accepted, it was a waste of energy. Exactly. So it's like, if I had to wait, it would never happen. If I had to wait for my parents' approval or my siblings' approval or anybody else, and it's, girl, who are you? Why you think you could do that? And that's that other quote. Don't put your limitations for me on me. Or don't put your limitations for you on me, because we're not the same. We are not the same. We don't think the same. We don't walk the same. We don't eat. We don't sleep the same. We don't carry ourselves the same. We don't treat our bodies the same. We don't treat our minds the same. We don't do all of this stuff the same. We don't. So why did you think you can tell me what I can and cannot do? And I had to get up. Them shoes, I remember in 2019, I made this promise to myself. Right? And this was a private promise I only shared with a couple people. It was between me and God. Whatever shoes you place in front of me, we're going to lace them up and walk in them. We're not going to go, oh, these hurt my feet and can I do it? And that's how the whole acting thing came about. I remember I was in a singing competition in the studio in one of their rooms and didn't know that it was where they were like filming things. And then I started looking at all the beautiful black art all around, and that's when I met one of the guys that owned it. And then he handed me a script. That's how that happened. It wasn't like, oh, wonder if I could start acting. Like, nah, that's not how that started. After I said that, like even the whole singing competition, I didn't get up, ooh, let me go find somewhere I can exercise my voice. Like, no. Once I made that promise between God, myself, and the universe, whatever shoes you place in front of me, I'm going to lace them up and walk in them. When I made that promise, boy, the shoes start coming. Everything. And it was just like, dang. I guess we're doing it. Because I did say that. I guess we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. And it was not, there wasn't any, there was no room for question. Because the agreement that I made was, I'm a woman of my word. I'm going to stick to it. Even when it came with like love and friendships, I wasn't dating anybody. That's actually when I started being celibate or whatever. But even like my friendships, the people that I engage with, the people that I allowed myself to be close with, it was just like, nah, let's figure out what this is. Because we ain't supposed to be together like that. I know that. I know that. And, not everybody agrees. And that's not my problem. But it's like, nah, I know exactly what God wants for me. I'm doing exactly what God wants for me. And once God placed those shoes in front of me, I'm not asking for my neighbor's permission to walk in them. I'm not asking for my auntie's permission to walk in them. I'm not asking for your daddy's permission to walk in them. I'm not asking for my daddy's permission to walk in them, because mine gonna tell me no. He gonna tell me no straight up. You can't do that. Who can't? Baby, I can show you better than I can tell you. I'm not asking for my mama's permission to walk in them shoes. I'm not asking for your grandma's permission to walk in them shoes. When God placed them shoes in front of me, that's all I need. Even if I ain't never seen them before. Even if they got a whole bunch of gifts and powers that I have never accessed. Even if they come with a whole lot of things I have never seen. If those shoes are placed in front of me, baby, we walking. We marching. We're dancing. We're two-stepping. However, we're moving. And I don't need nobody's permission. And just like I don't need nobody's permission, you don't need nobody's permission to be great. Whatever assignment God has given you, has placed on your life, is your assignment. God gave it to you for a reason. God gave it to you for a reason. Not even for just a season. God gave it to you. God gave you everything that you need. Every manifestation that is coming true in your life is coming true because you were granted that. That is all the permission that you need. I meet so many amazing people every day. So many beautiful people every day. And I'm excited to meet those people every day. I'm excited to connect with new people every day. And I would have never made it to even that space had I not released all the baggage of those people in my past. It would have never happened. It would have never happened. There was no room. So I stepped outside of the container of the community that I grew up in, that box that they had for me. I got out of it. I ain't even break it. I left it there in case somebody else wanted to sit in it, but it won't be me. I stepped up out of that box and stepped into my purpose. And I move by way of my purpose. Everything that I do is purposeful. And that's the other thing. Make sure you are living within your purpose. And as a parent, if I was up there in age and had grown children, guess what my job is? To make sure they are walking in their purpose. Not making sure they're killing themselves and sacrificing themselves for me to be comfortable when I was supposed to do that myself. My grandma's favorite thing to say was, baby, I already lived my life. And guess what? She was still serving. She was still helping. She wasn't taking. My grandmother was not a taker. She was a giver. She was a mother to community. She was a teacher to community. She served everywhere she went. That's why I call her my mother. And she imprinted all of that on me. She's gifted all of that to me. And that is all I need. And the worst thing I can do is to be all of that amazing goodness, that graciousness, that loving, that care, that teacher, that student, and cultivate all of what she gifted to me, all of what God gifted to me, all of what love gifted to me, and sit there and waste it trying to take care of ungrateful people behind me. It is to move forward and to give, not to stay in the same place. They said if you look back and you were in the same place you was 10 years ago, you wasted 10 years of your life. It's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to outgrow environments. It's okay to outgrow situations. It's okay to outgrow spaces. It's okay to outgrow all of that. It's okay to outgrow all of that. It's okay to outgrow all of that. And I know change is scary. I know change is scary. I know change is scary, but the more you change and the more you step outside, it ain't anymore, because you learned, oh, I could see. I didn't know I can see in the dark until I stepped in it. Now, had I listened to my daddy, I would have never stepped in it. And that brings me to something that I asked my dad in 2019. Mind you, I was single and celibate, but he didn't know that. I asked him, I said, Dad, what do you think about me getting married again? Now, he didn't know why I was asking this question, but I was asking this question because I already knew the answer to this, but I guess I wanted a exclamation mark on what I already knew, that I cannot trust my dad's wishes for me anymore. Yes, amazing teacher. Yes, amazing teacher. Yes, amazing teacher. But that expired. And I could not trust his well wishes for me anymore, because they were not. I learned that when a person starts giving advice from their wounds, from their scars, from their fear, it's not for me anymore. Because if God placed some shoes in front of me and you're telling me that's not for you because you've been scarred, because you've been broken, because you've been hurt, and you decide to hang on to that, you decide not to heal from that, you decide to not let that go, you decide to keep carrying that on your back. It's a mosquito in here. But you decide to keep carrying that suffering, keep carrying that pain, keep perpetuating that toxic cycle. So you're now going to advise me against it. Baby, I can't trust you for me anymore. Because I done been to hell and back on the devil's back of 11 times. And none of that is enough to kill me, to break my spirit, to make me not believe in love, to kill the ability to cultivate the greatest love within myself. Nothing can kill that. Nothing can break that. Nothing can stop that. Nothing can scare me into thinking it doesn't exist, because I am. So I asked my dad, I said, Dad, how would you feel if I got married again? And like I said in the last video, if the man is an amazing good man, he hates him. Now, me being me, if you know me, we're not allowing any type of disrespect, period. I don't care who you are. If this is the person that I love, if this is the person that I choose, you gonna respect or you gonna lose. And when I say lose, you're gonna lose me. And nobody likes that. I haven't met a person yet that is just like, woo, she's gone. Like, sweetie, you gonna be respectful at all times. I will step to any and everybody for the person that I chose, for the person that I love. Because I treat me that way. You're not going to treat me any kind of way. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way. You're not going to be to me any kind of way. So why the freak would I allow you to teach and to be around and to treat this person that I love here any kind of way? We're not doing that. So I asked, you said the vulnerability, Jesus, why I can't talk now? Vulnerability is exquisite. Thank you, love. But yeah, like, so I asked, I said, so how would you feel if I get married? When I tell you, my dad had an attitude. He went from calm to mad. If anybody marry you, he a dang fool. And if what did he say? He said, if it's a man with money, he only wants you for your body. And if he ain't got nothing, he only using you for everything that you got. Like, he went on a tangent. He legit said that. Now, I know. Wow. If my dad actually knew who I am as a woman, if he knew that. And this is why I say I am a stranger to my family. And I'm cool with that. But if he actually knew me as a woman, he would have known all of what he said didn't affect me not one way or the other. I stopped valuing your opinion a long time ago. I don't need you to tell me who I am or how I am at all. That speaks for itself. So as he's saying all of this, he's thinking like, and I told him, I was like, I value your opinion. I mean, I'm selling it before I asked him this. Best thing I'm going to see on a live all day. Really? He said, that's why you stand so strong. Have you been married before? Yes, I've been married before. I got married when I was 2014, I think. and divorced, but it was somebody that I had been with forever, for 10 years. Um, learning experience, to say the least. Um, will not go backwards to save my life. But, but no, so I'm selling it, Dad, I value your opinion, because I do love and respect my dad, but you're not going to be disrespectful. So I dressed it up nice, and then he said all of that, and I was like, wow. Now, the person that I married in the past, he hated when he thought he was a good man. He said, if the right one comes along, will you get married again? Oh, definitely. Definitely. I'm not opposed to marriage. I'm opposed to takers with givers. I'm opposed to toxicity. I'm opposed to unhealthy unions, unhealthy situations. If I love you and you are not receptive to that love, because you feel like you're unworthy or undeserving, but you can love me, that's unbalanced. Because that means you don't see yourself. And if I decide to love you, if I decide to pour into you, hey, sweetie, if I decide to pour into you, if I decide to love you, if I decide to stand up for you and give the way that I do, and you tell me that you're undeserving or unworthy, then you have not learned to love yourself. And although you may feel it in your heart wholeheartedly, how can you love me if you don't even allow yourself to be loved? Hey, sweetie. How can you love me if you don't allow yourself to be loved? I remember I was talking to somebody last year, having a conversation, and I don't know how we got on the subject of grace, but he was just like, he doesn't deserve grace. And I had to, hold my gangster, like, because on the inside, that crap tore me up. Like, why? And when I tell you, this man is one of the most deserving souls of love. And so for him to tell me, like, mid-conversation, we end the conversation. He's like, oh, no, I don't deserve grace. And I'm like, what? Why do you think that? Why do you feel that? And mind you, I'm holding a straight face because I'm trying to hear why he feels that. And when I tell you, this man has one of the purest, most beautiful souls I have ever seen. So to hear that, that's like watching somebody that you love feel like they're unworthy. And then I learned through spiritual intuition. He said, why do you think he feels that way? Oh, I'm going to tell you. I learned, from spiritual intuition and insight that, like myself, forever ago, years ago, he grew up in an environment where, people took. And rather than actually appreciating him for who he is and how he is and the spiritual gifts that he came with, they look at him as though you're supposed to do that. So when you're in an environment where you are giving, you're pouring, you're helping, you're healing, you're teaching, and all of this amazing stuff, and people are not appreciative of that, if you don't fix that, you begin to feel like you're unworthy. You begin to feel like you're undeserving. You begin to feel like you're doing what you're doing because you're supposed to be doing it. And then the thought of you having love, did your definition of love change over the years? If so, why and why not? No, my definition. But I'm gonna answer that once I finish with this other question. When you're in an environment where you're giving and people are not appropriately appreciating you, you begin to believe that you're supposed to. You begin to believe that, so what if they don't say thank you? So what? I'm supposed to be doing this. And you begin to lose the value of you being you. It's like my dad. I'm my dad's only biological child. My mom had 2 children before him. And then they took in my cousin who was a year younger than me. My dad's brother's daughter. And we all grow up, become adults. Mind you, I'm his only biological child, his only real child. And I remember one day he got upset and he goes, you're the only one that calls me to check on me. And I was like, because I care about how you're doing. And he was like, your sister calls me. She calls me for money. Your brother calls, your cousin. Everybody calls my dad for money. And something that my father used to say when I was growing up a lot was, wherever your treasure is where your heart is. And that was such a screwed up mindset that just, like, I wish he didn't feel that way. Because Here this man is on my phone, my dad, and he's talking about everybody allows me to, to basically be the pay cow. Every time your sister call, she wants money. And he was upset. He was angry with me because I would never allow him to pay for anything for me. I would never allow for, he would do stuff like he'll take my vehicle to Firestone and get the oil changed. He would have to take and do for me. But anytime I call my father to exchange love with him, to tell him that, I love you. I'm thinking about you. Are you okay? How are you feeling? And he began to hate me for it. He began to hate me for it because in his mind, he felt useful when he was being a pay cow to everybody else, because somewhere down the line, he began to believe that those that loved him took from him. So he had a child, which was me, and she's his whole love bug, and she's just pouring into him. So that made me public enemy number one. And I remember my sister called me before, and she was just bragging. All I gotta do is tell dad I need some diapers, or tell dad this, or tell dad that, and he'll just send me some money. Mind you, I'm his only biological child. So when she's telling me this, I'm burning on the inside, like, the freak, you taking advantage of my dad. And she was like, no, he loves to give money. He loves this, he loves that. And I'm like, the man needs love. He legitimately needs love. And you are bragging. I remember I flipped out on my sister, because how are you going to come to me bragging about how you taking advantage and using my dad? Mind you, what she don't know is this man just called me upset with me because I have not taken advantage of him, because I have not used him, because I have not taken from him. And I remember at this point, he was actually tipsy. And he was like, he said, I'm going to give you some money. And I was like, I'm not going to take it. I don't need that. What is most important to me is relationship, is connection. I don't want your money, especially if I don't have a connection with you. Now, granted, I did have a nice little connection with my dad at the time, but he began to punish me for loving him. He said, do you think your dad saw value in you in a different way than you did? Do you think maybe he felt you don't see the value he sees? No. Because see, my dad, he saw my value for what it was, for what it is, through every stage and every phase. And he wanted to keep it. He always used to tell me, basically, not to wear your heart on your sleeve, you're going to get hurt. But then if a man comes to actually try to love me, he hated him. I remember I used to brag about my dad on my Facebook all of the time. And I will never forget, I did it so much. People swore our relationship was perfect. But I would I would correct people. Like, nah, it's definitely flawed. It's flawed like a mofo. But if you used to look at my love for my dad through my eyes, yeah, you would swear it was perfect, because that's how I loved my dad, in a perfect way. But if you look at it for what it really is, you'd be like, dang, girl, how are you still there? It's my dad. Now we got boundaries and all of that, and we don't deal with the toxic stuff anymore. Because growth within myself, healing within myself. He said, I'm only theorizing, but maybe he equates value to money. He does. I said that. I actually said that like 5 minutes ago. He used to say, where your value is, or where your treasure is where your heart is. And my dad, he always had more than me. He's never needed money from me. That's backwards. That's so backwards. That's the thing I can say. This man has never asked me for money. He's not that kind of dad. But he always wanted to give. Yeah, you missed it. But he always wanted to give. He always wanted to give. He always wanted to pour. He always wanted to give. And so naturally, I'm giving back to my father. Daddy, how are you doing? How are you doing? I love you. And I would call my dad just to say I love you. And that would irritate his soul. Like, he loved it. I remember like my dad, I wish I could pull up, but can't. Like, he cries from me loving him. Like, I sent him an email. There's distance between us, but that's my boundary. That's my boundary to keep me safe from drama. But I emailed him like a month ago. I sent him some pictures and stuff, and he said, oh, you about to make my eyes water. And I know he was crying. Like, this is a man who has not been loved properly. And so he cries because here I am, the only person at the, well, he's married, remarried now, because him and my mom divorced when I was like 22. And he wasn't loved properly in that marriage. I'm not going to pretend like he was. He was not. And it was a lot of stuff that should not have been that happened in my household growing up. But nah, my dad wasn't loved properly for a long time. And it's like, what's dude's name on Black Panther? This man will burn the whole community down just to feel the warmth from the flames. Like, daddy needed love. And here he is, he's sending money to his mom, killing himself to do that in the past. Sending money here, sending money there, paying for this, paying for that, paying for this, paying for that. And that is where he took his value. And it's like, baby, that's not it. Your pockets don't determine the amount of love you are deserving of. And what's crazy is all these people he was paying and giving and giving and giving to wasn't giving a daggone thing to him. Especially not love. Especially not love. So daddy was suffocating. And then the only life he's ever created, me. Whole love bug, just loving on him. That literally makes him break down. It's rare finding a black man that's been loved properly. Now you talking. Now you talking. People ask me why I'm single, because I'm making sure that the person I decide to give that to is worth it. Worth it. Worth it. Because I'm poor. And my dad, like I said, he was not ever loved properly. Was never loved properly. Never loved properly. And then he has one child who's a love bug. He's like, I gotta kill that in her because she's gonna end up hurt just like me. Not, baby, we strong. I've learned. I've learned from my scars. I've learned for those bumps and bruises. And I took all that I can from any situation that was not for me to stay in. And took the lessons and left the trash. Like, heart ain't broken. Still believe in love to this day because I am. In the flesh. And if you know me, you know that. So, but it's just like, it's like this little light that just won't die inside of me because it's not supposed to. And here I am trying to love my dad. So like if I do sweet stuff, which that is who I am, he starts crying and it's sweet. Like it's legit sweet, but that's his reaction to being loved. And then that's why I said, like, Herb, you know my Uncle Zeke, like take me to dinner and God help him want to turn around and tell my dad. Like even my auntie Aroma, we just had a family reunion. His sister, my auntie takes a picture and goes, I'm gonna send this to your dad to piss him off. Why are we doing that? My Uncle Zeke takes pictures. I'm gonna send this to your dad to piss him off. Like, can y'all stop? Can y'all stop doing this? Because I'm not going to play this game with y'all. And then the day that I sat with my aunt, the whole day, which is my great aunt technically, my dad was tearing her phone up all day. All day. And then she wasn't answering. She was like, girl, he ain't never called this much. And I'm like, he could feel my energy. And then her daughter calls. And I was like, I guarantee you my dad calls. So she's talking to her daughter in front of me. And her daughter goes, you know, Bruce, my dad, has called me. He asked me about you. I was like, so technically that counts as him calling again. Because now he done worried your daughter. Because I'm here with her all day. Like, so my dad sees me appropriately. He sees me properly, but he's selfish when it comes to me. So I can't go, hey, Dad, do you approve of this guy or that? He ain't going to approve of nobody. My dad will not approve of not a single soul. And if you're bad, then he'll approve because he know I'm not gonna stay. I'm not gonna be with nobody horrible. So yeah, I can't. The same survival mechanism that once served us will not allow us to thrive. That part. The same survival mechanism that once served us will not allow us to thrive. And that's where shedding and evolving and growing comes from. So, nah. My dad sees me, but that's what makes him selfish. Here's another question I had to answer. Hold on, I'm trying to find this question. Then keep starting over. Did my definition of love change over the years? If so, why and why not? No. My definition of love has never changed. Has never changed. Never changed. Love, that is a topic. Me and love. Love to me is life. Love to me is God. And that has always been my definition. And if you look around you, you'll see God in all spaces, all places. That's actually one of my affirmations that I got. I see God in all spaces, places, people, every situation. And love is where there is life, there's love. And so I look at the sky and I fall in love. I look at the earth, I fall in love. And it balances the love within inside of myself. Completely balanced. I could be having a horrible day and just step out into love. And immediately I'm balanced. Now, when it comes to relationships, which I believe you're also asking for my definition, love is reciprocity. Love is serving. Love is giving. Love is also receiving. Love says, because I know everybody's love language is different, but for me, love is, baby, are you okay today? Love for me is, I can see that you are not okay even if you look me in my face and tell me you're okay. Love for me is sitting down with you so we could figure out how to make sure you're okay. Love for me is me allowing you to love me, allowing you to protect me, and at the same time protecting you too. Love is teaching. Teach me something. Bring me water for my flowers. Because you are a teacher. You're the teacher that I chose. This is the lesson that I chose. You are my learning partner, my life partner in that situation. At the same time, love allows me to teach. A love allows me to be all that I'm created to be. So not only am I receiving from you and learning from you, you're learning from me. Love is not trying to change me. Like you said, this is therapeutic. I wish more men were tuned in. They'll see it eventually. They'll see it. But love is allowing. I remember I spent time with this being, right? In the presence, this is in the past, in the presence of this being, we just like worked. Like he was his masculine self in my presence, and no one had to force anything. No one had to fake anything. He was his masculine self, and I was my feminine self. And what people don't get is that a balanced man and a balanced woman are already both masculine and feminine. Man is masculine when he's in the mode of protecting and service. The man is feminine when he's in a nurturing state. That's how fathers can father their sons and father their daughters in a balanced relationship. A mother is in her masculine when she's protecting her babies, protecting her man. And, you know, all these women, I'm in my soft girl era. Like, sweetie, it's not an era. If you're balanced, that's who you are. And in the presence of the right person, in the presence of the right man, baby, there is no soft girl era. That's your life. And in the presence of the right woman, there's no masculine era. That is who you are. You're allowed to be, and that's what love, like trauma heals in safe spaces. Love grows in safe spaces, in places, in the right environment, the right people. So if you're in a relationship, parent-child relationship, sibling relationship, intimate partnership relationship, and love cannot grow, that's not your space, your place. That's not your person. That's not your learning mate. That's not your classmate. That's not your life mate. That's why they say your siblings can be your soulmates, your teachers, your parents can be your teachers, your soulmates, your friends, strangers, and your actual intimate divine partner can be your soulmate. Love exposes all. Love exposes all. Good, bad, and indifferent. Love is me not trying to change you. Love is me loving you. And that's giving you, this mosquito is bugging the heck out of me. That is giving you, love is giving you the freedom and the encouragement and the environment to change whatever you feel like you need to change. Somebody spoke to me about saving a space for somebody. Love is doing that without saying, hey, I'm saving a space for you. You don't have to say, oh, I love you, so I'm going to save the space for you. No, love means I want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. So if you decide our season is over right now, no matter how much it may pain me, I love you and I want you happy. I love you and I need you happy. I love you and I want you to grow. So I'm going to get out your way and allow you to do whatever you feel like you need to do with the people that you feel like you need to be there for. And because I love you, even if it still hurts, because I love you, I'm going to be right there rooting for you because I want to see you win. I want to see you win. I need to see you win. Even if our season is over, now I'm in the crowds watching you grow, watching you heal, watching you learn. That is what love is. Love is not selfish. And in a right, balanced, loving relationship, talking about intimate partners, love is giving. And I love to say that if I'm in a relationship, right, and I'm worried about my man, not worried, but I'm tending to my man's needs because I give and I serve, I pour, I love, I cultivate, I grow. I am life. So I'm doing all of this for my man in a balanced situation. He's doing all of that for me. Who's going hungry? Nobody's hungry. Nobody's lacking. Nobody is like, I watched this lady the other day watch her husband struggle to take care of her. And when I tell you I am here for queen treatment, I'm here for queen treatment. But just as much as I'm here for queen treatment, I am here for king treatment. And I'll be daggone if I'm gonna watch you kill yourself to try to make me happy. That's not gonna make me happy. You struggling to keep a smile on my face is not gonna make me happy. So if you need help carrying this load, guess what? You don't even have to tell me. I'm there. That's reciprocity. I'm there. Because I want us to enjoy this together. I'm watching this lady watch her man, her husband struggle. And I said something to her. And she was like, girl, I don't know nothing about that. He'll figure it out. I'm like, nigga. He'll figure it out. That doesn't bother you? And then she had the audacity to try to ask me to do something. Girl, I'm not your husband. Go on somewhere with that. I am not your husband. I am not your husband. Does your hand work? Does it work? It looks like, do this for me. You can wave. Okay. You'll figure it out. That junk tore me up. She's watching her husband struggle. I'm talking about shoving and pushing and trying to put stuff in the car. And I'm standing there watching her and she like we sisters. Girl, I don't know you. And I have absolutely zero respect for you because I'd be daggone if I'm going to watch my man embarrass himself about to fall trying to put all my baggage. Spiritual, emotional, psychological. All of that baggage. This is real life situation, but I'm turning it to something else. Like I'm finna watch him struggle to carry my bags. Girl, you out your goddamn mind. Man sitting there struggling to put their stuff in the trunk of their car. That's what it really was. And she's just sitting there, I don't know nothing about that. All right, sweetie. When you find your dude miserable and done lost it, you gonna remember this day. And girl, I don't know nothing about that. You better learn. But I'm not here for the unbalanced union. For me, love is the flow. It is the flow. If my man is struggling, we struggling together. We're going to figure it out together. I am a solution-oriented person. I don't believe in nobody dying for me. I don't believe in that. And I'm not finna die for you either. You finna have your tail right here with me. I'm a shooter for real. For real. We'll pull it out. But nah, my dad started teaching me at 12. Why does my man have to fight off a whole pack of wolves by himself and I'm well equipped? I'm well equipped. Loaded clip, got the gun, but I'm not shooting because my man got it. That's so ignorant. And that's what's tearing a lot of unions down. He said, as a poet to you, do you have a favorite love poem that you wrote or performed? You're getting in my bag now. Love. I got poems for days. I got poems for days. Maybe I'll post another one on here. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I was watching this woman, watching her husband struggle to take care of her. And that bothered me. Because there's so many unhappy women working that hard to make their man happy. And there's so many unhappy men working that hard to keep their woman happy. And you know what the number one problem is to all of them situations? You got to take her and you got to give her. You got to take her and you got to give her. And a lot of times that taker didn't take care of their own baggage. They didn't take care of their own baggage. They got all of this bottled up stuff that they carrying with them, and they have not tended to it. They don't know the first thing to taking care of themselves. Why? Because they've always found, I've been good, Shane. Thank you. Entitlement and expectations are masquerading as love, most definitely. And that's why the guy that I spoke of earlier is saying that he didn't deserve grace and love. That's why that bothered me. Because he's the giver. He's the giver. He is the giver. Now, he and myself are two givers. That was such a beautiful dynamic. Me and his presence, him and mine, two givers. Like, this man sat here and chopped a whole bunch of fruit and stuff. Like, stuff I didn't even ask for it. And placed it down in front of me, serving. And there was somebody else there. And, you know, offered something to them. And he was literally taking care of me. I was drinking water in my glass. Didn't even say anything. He just refilled it. Like, the setup was just so beautiful. And then in the end of it all, when the other guy left, he starts cleaning up behind me and him. And I'm like, no, I get there and do what the freak a giver does. We're doing this together. We're in this together. That's what love is. And see, if we take this metaphorically and apply it to baggage, most takers don't know the first thing to unloading their baggage. Therapy, what is that? Even those that do go to therapy, half the time don't really be in therapy. They in therapy to check the box off so they can keep milking the giver and say, see, I'm trying. I'm in therapy now. Keep giving to me, please. I'm doing what you asked. I'm getting help. But they're not really getting help. Takers don't know the first thing to standing on their own. What they do know how to do is manipulate the heck out of a giver. And see, we are no longer in that phase of life. God done showed me who everybody is. So I don't get manipulated whatsoever. But one of the hardest things for me to do is to see another giver allowing takers to milk them to their death. To take from them until they're dead. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And baby, if I see it, I'm going to say something. One way or the other, I'm going to say something. And then if you are allowing yourself to stay in that situation, I'm going to get out your way because it's going to hurt me. Because I love you. It's going to hurt me to see you getting taken advantage of by somebody else who don't give a dang about you. Remember, if I've been giving you for 5 years and you ain't have to want for nothing, you should have done something with that in all of those years. Love is giving to the degree of helping and not to the degree of crippling. So you give and you receive. You don't give too much because sometimes people don't learn because they're used to you being there. I said my perspective on love is beautiful. Thank you. But you give to the degree to them helping themselves. I'm going to help you stand up because I love you. I'm going to tell you that this person is hurting you because I love you. And if you decide, like my dad, when he called me all upset, talking about, you don't ever take no money from me because I don't want it. Baby, I want you. Daddy, I want you to love me. And when you feel like you ain't got the capacity because you keep overextending yourself to everybody else, guess what, Dad? I'm going to hold that space for you and keep pouring into you as long as I can. Love also means I'm not going to allow you to cripple yourself trying to serve me. Not selfish. So, Daddy, if I got it to give, I'm going to give it to you. But if I'm pouring into you and you're steady letting these people take advantage of you, I can't keep doing it. That's where we have to draw the line, cut the cord, make the boundary. Until you learn to respect yourself enough to stop letting these people take advantage of you because it's your daughter or because it's your wife or your step this and because it's somebody at the church. When you learn to cut the cord, then I might feel like it's okay for me to pour into you. Because now you've compartmentalized all of these people, places, things, and situations where they're supposed to be. And that's the thing. Givers got to commute. Givers need to commute with givers. They need to build communities with givers, because that is where love is. And in the right balanced community, everybody wins. Nobody's taking advantage of the other person. And nobody's getting upset because, oh, this person won an award, or this person, just moved 20 steps ahead of the whole crowd. When you are with givers, they're all happy for you. When you're in a loving environment, they are all happy for you. When you're in the right environment, they are all happy for you. They want to see you win. They're not like, how dare you leave? How dare you go get love for yourself? How dare you go buy this for yourself? How dare you go do... They're not doing that because they want you to win. They love you. They love you. They love you. They're not trying to keep you from your happiness because they love you. They're not trying to stunt your growth by saying stupid crap like you don't deserve grace, or you don't deserve love, or you don't deserve, so I'm worthy enough to take care of you, but not myself. I got it enough to foot your bill and to do stuff that you want me to do. But when it comes to me doing what I want, I'm not worthy enough. I'm not equipped enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. But I'm all of that to do it for you. There's a problem with that dynamic. There's a problem with that situation. And that's a person that's not concerned about you and your well-being for you. If I love you, I want to see you, the best version of yourself. I want to see you happy. I want to see you balanced. I want to see you win. I don't care if winning for you excels what that looks like for me. I'm going to be right there cheering for you because I love you. So love is growth. Love is healing. Love is the desire to want to see you be great. Your greatest, your best, your most amazing. Love wants to see you loved. Love wants to see you heal. Love wants to see you grow. Even if you're outgrowing me, I want to see you grow. I don't want to be the thing that stopped you. I don't want to be the person that stopped you because I love you. I will step aside and get out your way and be silently cheering you on in the background. That's what I'm talking about. That's my friend. We can go for forever and never speak again because we outgrew each other, right? And I'm still in the background. That's my friend. I knew she was going to do it. Oh, I knew he was going to do it. You married with kids now, girl, do it. Do it. Do it for everybody that couldn't. Do it for everybody that tried and failed. Do it for you. Do it for your children. If I love you, I want to see you be great. I want to see you win. I want to see you knock it down. Whether we speak or not, I want to see you win. And I'm not like, oh, you're going to leave without me. Sometimes love requires that. That's why they say elevation requires separation. The version of me that I was 10 years ago ain't got nothing on the woman that I am today. Why? Because evolution. Why? Because my life has to remain balanced. And so as I grow and I'm learning and I'm meeting new people, I have to release and shed old people. If they're not growing and evolving, there's no room, baby. Car is full. Love is giving. Love is teaching. Love is selfless. But the first law of nature is self-preservation. And if you are not allowing yourself, like I said, me and my commitment in 2019, God, whatever shoes you place in front of me, we finna lace them things up and walk, march, dance, two-step, skip, run. We gonna get it on and popping. First law of nature is self-preservation, baby. If God gave it to you, that's all the permission you need. If God awarded it to you, that's all the permission you need. Are you gonna take that winning hand to the bank? Or are you gonna let it go because the people of your past are not gonna be happy for you being happy for yourself? What you gonna do with it? First law of nature is self-preservation. Even on the airplane, they tell you if something was to happen, if you have a child, you put your mask on first. You save yourself first because that is the only way that you could be of service to the person next to you. Be it your child, your partner, your friend, or a complete stranger. first law of nature is self-preservation, baby. If you are not allowing yourself to be loved properly, you're not taking care of you. You're not helping you. You're not healing you. You're not showing up for you. Because, baby, if God gave it to you, it's yours. It is yours. It's nobody else's. But if you let that go, somebody else gonna take that. Somebody else gonna take that winning hand to the bank. Somebody else gonna take that and take that winning shot. And you're gonna be sitting there crying, waiting for the people around you to tell you that, okay, you could do it now. How much should you have to suffocate in order for them to be happy with you actually being receptive to what God gave you? How many times do you gotta die? Going back to the example of myself, I watched myself like be down and out, and I'm looking at these same people that I poured into, that I've helped, that I've gave, I've served, all of this that I didn't even have to do. Didn't even take note. Them people went, oh, she dead? All right, let's go. Like looking for the next cow to milk. Like, and then, oh my God, she's back up. She's back up. But door is locked. Do not come. Because I'm not going to let you in, boo. In fact, security, come get these people. Come get these people, because they do not have a place here anymore. They do not have a place. They do not have a place. And I don't feel no way about it, because I don't need anybody's permission to be happy. God gave me everything I needed. So that's me in my definition of love. Juggernaut, that's your page name. That's me in my definition of love. And you know, first law of nature is self-preservation. So cultivate that energy within yourself. And if you got it, baby, you got it. If you got it, you got it. You don't need nobody's permission to be loved. You don't need nobody's permission to be great. You don't need nobody's permission to be. Live your life. Anyway, I gotta go, because I was actually trying to go to the gym. And then I felt that energy. Like I said in the last video, I felt that energy. And it's just like, somebody needed to hear baby jump. Thank you. You're welcome, love. Somebody needed to hear jump, move, take the shot, take that card, that winning hand to the bank. Do it. Do it. Because if you're waiting for people who you take care of to be happy for you, baby, it's not going to happen, because they're afraid that the second that you do that, the second that you take that shot, the second that you go to the bank, the second, how dare you leave me? That's such a selfish mindset. And there's nothing loving about it. One of the biggest reality checks that I got was learning that I had to shed and let go of people that I'd never imagined. My direct bloodline that I've never imagined. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to. Because had I not, I wouldn't be the teacher that I am today. One of my favorite documentaries to watch and to recommend to people is Finding Joe. Finding Joe. Because he talks about this golden Buddha that people covered up in stone to hide so that it wouldn't get robbed or stolen or whatever. And, you know, people forgot that it was there because it was concealed. It was camouflaged. Time passed. Nobody even knows anymore. No one sees the value in it whatsoever. And then one day something happens and begins to chip away at that stone, and ta-da! They discover the golden Buddha. And that's kind of a great representation of life. The family that we're born into. We are born this golden Buddha, right? We're born children of some of the most beautiful. This is why I say I want like born more. Children are some of the most beautiful spirits on this earth. And they're born so pure, so clean, so natural, so loving. And then people, like the same golden Buddha, put all this cement of their fears and their pain, their suffering, their unhealed trauma, all of that mess. And they cover up that child's beautiful golden self in stone. So that child is stoned. Can't even move. Child don't even know who they are anymore. Completely disconnect this child from source. And they imprint on this child, who they think the child should be, and what they think the child should do, and how the child should breathe. And you're right. It's just mind blowing that you're so beautiful and gorgeous person that I know. Girl. Thank you, niece. But I'm talking about something serious here. But they do all of this to the child before the child can even be an adult. And now this child has this militant mindset of, this is who I'm supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to move. This is how I'm supposed to breathe. This is what I'm supposed to eat. This is what I'm supposed to drink. And I have to do it this way because this is what they said I'm supposed to do. The whole time you're born into this family that has not healed. That was my story. Has not healed. Has not healed. Has not healed. Has not healed. Born into this family that has not healed. And your light is shining through the cement that they put all over you. And because you believe that you're supposed to be cement now, you are picking up more cement, patting the holes, because the light just keeps shining through, just keep beaming through. And you're trying to cover it up. Hey, H! You're trying to cover it up. Trying to cover up your greatness. Trying to cover up who you are. Loving the vibe. Peace to you too, beloved. But you're trying to cover up the light. You're trying to hide the light. You're trying to hide the light. That was my story for so long. And so now they're not even doing it anymore. You are the ones taking the cement, covering up your light, hiding who you are, hiding your greatness because you believe that that's what you're supposed to do. Because people have conditioned you to believing that it's who and how you're supposed to be. And then God comes along and they send sometimes a situation, sometimes a person, sometimes put you in a place that completely shatters all of that cement, all that hardness of your heart, the hardness of the mind, all of that mess that they put on you. Something comes along and shatters that illusion. And now you sitting there confused and you can't help but to be light. You can't help but to be who God called you to be. You can't help but to shine. And now you're feeling guilty for shining. You're feeling guilty for being that light when you can't help who God made you to be. And so you're trying to find cement to cover it up so that you can blend in an environment, in a community that is no longer yours, that is no longer of service to you. And God is like, I've shattered that cement illusion because, baby, that is not who you are. And that's not Abel. That is not where you're supposed to be at all. And so God is pushing you out of that environment and you are panicking and trying to hold on to something because it's familiar. Because it's comfortable. No matter how wrong it is, it's comfortable. But you are a light in a room full of darkness. You're the only one that can see. You're the only one that's glowing. And everybody's trying to hide your light so you don't leave. They don't want you to leave because it's not beneficial for you to leave. It is not beneficial. It's only beneficial for you. It's only necessary for your growth. And what's crazy is if you step outside and go to where you're supposed to be, so many more people benefit from your light. They benefit from your healing. They benefit from your growth. They benefit from your authenticity. But you got to stop being scared first, and you got to step out there and be who God called you to be. And meet everybody that God wants you to meet. And change more lives for the better. And heal yourself. Because once you've been that golden Buddha covered up for so long in cement, you might actually think it's wrong now because of conditioning to be the light. When it's not wrong, baby, you just in the wrong home. Right package at the wrong door. I know you think, well, this is the family I grew up in. And that may be true. I love you too, boo. And that may be true. This is the family you grew up in. And everything that you experienced was absolutely necessary for your growth. It was necessary for your evolvement. But guess what, baby girl? Me talking to myself. You graduated. You graduated. Now move to the next step. Don't worry. I know you think you finna lead them people behind. You are. But they will appreciate it in the future. Because what God is about to do for you is not just going to hit them in the most loving, beautiful way once they heal their own issues. but it's also going to hit and heal a whole lot of other people. And so you have to now heal the trauma of believing that your light is a problem, that your love is a problem. You got to heal from that. And sometimes, like myself, you got to heal from that by yourself. And then sometimes, like people that I've come to know, you are allowed to have someone to help you through that healing, help you through that process, and help push you to your own light, your own destiny, and make you love yourself all over again. Make you appreciate your own light and step in that thing boldly and confidently, godly, godlike. We don't run from that. But you can't get there if you keep trying to put that cement back on you, thinking that that's who you're supposed to be because you've outgrown your conditions, outgrown your environment. And I learned a long time ago, some years ago, that when I try to stay somewhere I ain't supposed to be, baby, that thing get rough. And you like, dang, you slipping and falling. You ever seen somebody get hit so hard they try to grab everything going down around them? Like my cousin got the one hitter quitters. So you ever seen somebody get hit with one of them and they's trying to catch the air as they're hitting the ground? Baby, if God done told you to move, God about to hit you with one hitter quitters and you trying to catch everything and everybody on your way down. And God is like, nah, baby, I'll pick you up if you ready to move. But if you not, baby, you finna keep suffering. And when I learned that, listen, I became the goodbye queen. I will walk away fast. I will walk away necessarily. Oh, it's time to go. All right. Because God done already showed me what happens when you stay too long. We won't do that no more. But yeah, if you are the golden Buddha, be the golden Buddha. Be golden, be your light, be who God called you to be. Lace them shoes up like I do and walk in them. Dance in them. And if you're lucky, you ain't got to go through it by yourself. There's somebody there to help you. Somebody there to guide you, your guiding light. You just got to stop saying no. Stop saying no to the guiding light. Stop saying no to God. Stop saying no to love. Stop saying no to your help. And start saying yes to your own light. Yes, and be receptive to you loving yourself, you appreciating yourself, and you getting to know yourself all over again without the cement. Being yourself authentically. Anyway, I gotta go work out because I ain't gonna want to go no more and I'm already hurting. So, that's my TED Talk for today. My car's done fell. That's my TED Talk for today. I'm done, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Love you.